Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. Good morning. Good morning. It's Saturday. It is January 21st. It's my husband's birthday eve. Not as nearly as exciting as my son's birthday eve, but see, his is tomorrow. Yeah, Dan was really excited when Danny came 3 weeks early instead of 2 weeks early, because otherwise they would have shared a birthday. So, yes, I am unmuted and recording and sharing my screen. Cool. Check, check, check. We're off to a good start. And last week I uploaded the recording immediately following the Summiteer Live. So we'll see if I can accomplish that goal again today. But yeah, so good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. It finally feels like January outside. It is cold, but cozy. When I was driving up the hill, the sun was coming up and there was that really cool fog bank over the trees over on the left side when you're coming up the Tahale Hill, and the mountain kind of had this cool cloud coverage on it. But it was really pretty. It feels like winter, which is nice. Everyone always thinks it's so dreary and gross in the Pacific Northwest. We're going to let them keep thinking that so they don't come. But between us, we know it's actually fabulous. So thank you everyone for joining us. And we will go ahead and get started. So for our event review, we had, it was National Brew a Potion Day, I believe. And so we turned it into Brew Your Own Potion Day. Bartender Christopher led members through, for those of you who don't know, Christopher's mind works in brilliant ways when it comes to beverages. Recently, he's putting together some great mocktails for members, as well as cocktails. So if that's something you're interested in, you can always ask him. And it's never just juice and soda water. It's always something fantastic and clever. So for the Brew Your Own Potions Day, he walked members through kind of, did anyone go to this event here? No, not today. Walk people through. Christopher loves bitters. It's kind of an ongoing joke with our food and beverage leadership team that, oh, it's a Christopher cocktail. It probably has 9 different bitters in it. And as you can see in this picture, that's a whole lot of bitters that he was really excited to teach people about. But so he had a lot of fun. Members were able to kind of mix and match different liquors and so different bases, different additives, different flavor profiles, and make their own creation, which was fun. This is something we'll probably do again. It was good times. But yeah, it was fun. It was good. Weekly specials for the week in the restaurant. We have a fan favorite, which is sea scallops, Alaskan sea scallops. I know members always get so excited when these come, but the Alaskan sea scallops are prepared with a 5-spice dusted, pan-seared, and then they're served with a candied ginger, local pear, and a white balsamic gastrique. And then it's accompanied by a brown butter pilaf and a seasonal vegetable. So that's delightful. Good morning. I learned this week when a member asked me how many sea scallops it comes with. It's not a number because it's done by ounces. So it's about 6 to 7 ounces of sea scallops, and then that depends on how many. So I learned something this week when a member asked me, because I don't know. And then I got more of an answer than I thought I was going to. So there we go. Yes. Nope, this is the original. So when the mantle was originally put into place, the only table thing that's still there is that tall, skinny table. Everything else has changed. So as the community grew, we learned that really cute, aesthetically pleasing chairs in front of the fireplace didn't work. We needed a table there. So those are now up in our storage unit. But this is from kind of day one of opening what it looks like. Yeah, see how nice and pretty and clean and Yes, exactly. And then the second special is a breakfast for dinner country fried steak. That's going to be served with grilled hash browns, 2 eggs any style, and sausage gravy. So some pretty yummy things, 2 very opposite ends of the flavor spectrum. But yeah, comfort food or more elevated. You take your pick. We've got it all for you. One Day University this week, on the 23rd, we have The Films and Vision of Quentin Tarantino. On the 24th, we have All That Glitters, The History of the California Gold Rush. They stole that from my New Year's Eve theme. And on the 26th, something near and dear to my heart is Disney Fashion, A Century of Classic Costumes. So that'll be a fun one. I think it was 3 years ago. It was right before COVID. Disney did a traveling exhibit that came to Mopop in Seattle of all of different costumes that they had done. And I went, and it was really cool just to see everything in person. And they were doing that show on ABC at the time that was like a spin on Cinderella. I can't remember what it was called, but all of the costumes from it were like jewel tones and velvety, and just the embroidery and the attention to detail was great. So I'm hoping that makes its rounds again, because I would love to go with members. But until then, on the 26th, we can watch the One Day University about it. Our contact at One Day University has moved on to another role, and so I'm working with someone new. They haven't quite gotten our requested lineup for February up yet, but I'm following up every couple of days, and once it's up, I will get it posted. So, but I have, I think, 23 requested for February, which is almost every day if you know that February is short. So that'll be fun. On the 28th, today's the last day to register. We still have tickets available. Wine University, the theme is all about the bubbly. Catherine is a big fan of sparkling wines, and so she's very excited about this one. She has a great lineup for us. It's going to have different styles, varietals, flavor profiles. We'll learn about why sometimes things are called champagne, why they're not, what's a sparkling wine, all those good things. This will be a fun one. She's really excited. Today is the last day to register, so if this is something that interests you, make sure you sign up for it today before registration closes.
You never say what graduation is.
We're always learning and always evolving. It's the never-ending university. You're trapped forever. Facials with Elise, we were doing a special Valentine's edition of this on the 13th. She will be here offering 50-minute treatments. So that's exciting. Elise is a fantastic partner for us. She comes up with something different and unique every month. And then a little sneak peek is I'm also working with a new possible vendor relationship to start doing sound baths. So if you have not participated, sound baths, it's something to look forward to, clearly. So a sound bath is traditionally kind of part of a meditation, kind of yoga experience. But it's something that we have not done here, but I love them. So it's like singing bowls. Yep. So it's so you're relaxing, and then with the bowls, they make different sounds and different lengths of sounds. And then there's some hands-on component that she does, but you can also elect to have hands-off if you wish to do so. But it's a really cool experience. It's something I'm excited to bring to the members, so we'll see how it goes. I don't have all the details quite tightened up yet, so this will probably be something to look forward to in March. But I'm always looking for more wellness opportunities. So if anyone has gone places and experienced something that was great, I'm always open to suggestions. So please send them my way. Because the sound bath one actually came from a member. So there we go. Trilogy Loves Chocolate Week. This is going to be February 13th through the 19th. We have just one of these posted so far, but we have a chocolate and dessert wine pairing. I believe this one is sold out, but if you're interested in it, please get on the wait list because we can move it to a larger space. So we don't know to do that unless people tell us they want to come. So if this interests you, please make sure you sign up for the wait list. It's going to be $30. It's different kinds of chocolate and then some great dessert wines as well. So a little chocolate for us never hurts. And then Todd is also working on a walking tour that's going to involve chocolate during this week. It's right after he comes back from his grand adventure, so it'll probably be that weekend. He and I are going to sit down and talk about that today, so watch for that one to come up as well. And then, of course, we'll have a chocolate-themed special in the restaurant that week that Dino's working on. So, as I've been alluding to several weeks now, we have rebranded Grapes and Grub into Sips and Supper. So, very exciting. Sips and Supper is a new spin on Grapes and Grub. It's still going to be a similar price point, so they're not as spendy as the wine dinners are. The foods are a little bit more comfort food. You're not going to have, a Cornish game hen at this one. That's more wine dinner style, but this was something based off of member feedback, but also just wanting to try new things because why the heck not? So we are proud to introduce everyone to Sips and Supper. February will be our first one. And then also just a general reminder that for the wine events, registration is open to Barrel Masters exclusively up until 2 weeks before as part of the perks for being a Barrel Master. So if you do register before that time and you're not a Barrel Master, Catherine will do a one-time courtesy. Hey, just a reminder, registration is exclusively for Barrel Masters. Unregister and then remind you of when you can sign up. But for the month of January, we've had room in almost all the wine events, so don't stress. But very excited for this one. Our first one will be in February. The part of why we did this is we didn't want to feel pigeonholed or confined into having to do family style all of the time. So this Sips and Supper is going to be a plated experience, a 3-course paired menu. It also opens up the door for kind of more outdoor garden party vibes in the summer. We've already been talking about visions that we have, and the team is excited and passionate. So I'm excited to kind of do new things because it's a whole new world. Sips and Supper. But this will be fun. So the first one for this one is in February, and then we'll keep rolling with it. So each event description for it will have a note of what style of service it is so that you know what you're signing up for. And as I mentioned, February will be a plated experience.
Share how to pronounce chilled noodle.
Can I see it on your phone? Because Dinbadi? Is that what it is?
But it has
So there's the, I'm really horrible. I kept calling it the Dippity Bop Boutique when I was talking to Dino about it, because that's a Disney thing. We're very Disney. Dippity Bop. Dippity Bop. That's Dino. He's great. Dino knows. Yeah. But it's a chilled noodle. But it's going to be fantastic. For this one, we have 2 safety classes posted in partnership with the Trilogy Emergency Readiness team. So the first one is on the 8th. That one did sell out in Hawks Nest. So we have moved it into 2 tides and opened up tickets to 100 people. So more opportunity for us all to do the CPR hands-only training. And then I haven't checked this one yet, but I think this one might also be in the same movement of moving it into 2 tides to be able to accommodate more people. So perfect. So just like I always say, make sure you sign up for the wait list because that's how we knew to move the CPR one into 2 tides and able to accommodate those who want to come. Beyond that, with the partnership with the fire department, they've said how many people they're comfortable doing. So we can't necessarily do more than 100. But if the wait list is there, it tells us that we can offer it more often. So please make sure that you do sign up for the wait list so that we know to keep doing it. Yes. I also did the same thing, and then learned about our emergency water shutoff. Yeah, the gas, all those things. My husband works first shift at Boeing, so he leaves at 3:45, and then it's just me and Danny for the rest of the morning. I'm like, what if I need to know things and educate myself? And a side note on that, we're also, as part of our manager meetings that we do every Friday, the first Friday of the month is now going to be a safety and facility meeting. Where Robert is going to take the rest of the leadership team to different areas of the building and educate us on here's where, if this pipe bursts, here's where you need to run to go turn the water off. If you notice something is beeping over here, here's where to go check why it's beeping. These things sound kind of silly and like, well, why don't we know that already? But I don't know everything about this building, and we all need more knowledge. So yes. Yep. That was prior to me. One of our other sister properties just had that happen. Lake Frederick, I think it was, or Lake Norman. They had a huge freeze that went on the East Coast, and it froze their pipes, and their entire athletic closed because the whole thing was just water damage. So Mother Nature is rough sometimes.
There's another interesting side note. Don't just serendipitously go outside. Well, I'm going to practice and turn off the gas. Because once you turn your gas off at your house, it's going to take a month or longer for the gas company to come back out and turn it back on. So you can turn the switch back on. You ain't going to get no gas. Once the system receives a shut off from your node, you ain't getting any more.
So do a mock turn off.
Yeah, no mock.
Do the simulation, but don't do the actual twisting of the knob. It is. Tickets are selling like hotcakes. I tried, Barney. Wild. There you go. There we go. See? Who's got the next one? Anyone? No? Not today? Okay, I'll expect it next week. Going back to my teacher roots, everyone has an assignment now. Just a reminder, we do have our Valentine's dinner on Tuesday the 14th. This is almost full. There are some reservations still available, so if you'd like to join us, please make sure you sign up on Open Table. This will be the only menu available that day, so the full menu will not be available. Yes? There's alternatives. So each course has a vegetarian option. The full menu is on MTL, or I can show it to you after. I'd be happy to. So there is, for the entree, there is a king salmon, what is it, Oscar? So it's gonna, yeah. So it's king salmon with Dungeness crab. Yeah. There's a portobello mushroom steak. There's, for the first course, I believe it's a ratatouille burrata alternative. So, and then the dessert is a vegetarian. Yeah, lobster bisque too. So lots of great stuff. But registration is required, and this is done via Open Table, or the team at the restaurant can help you, or our fantastic concierge team can help make you a reservation as well.
Can I just ask a question?
Yes.
I've gone into Open Table before, and it says if you go directly into Open Table, it says you can't make a reservation from here. You can see the mantle, and you go in, and it says you can't make a reservation from here. But if you go in through the mantle, if you go in through the website, the website here, reservations, it takes you to the same
Weird.
spot. It's almost like, I don't know why. I didn't know if anybody else had that issue, but I can't go directly in through the app. I have to go to the website first, which takes me to the app, and then I can sign up.
I'll check with the,
I can go to that, but if I go, so I have the Open Table app on my phone, I go into the app, and it says, you look at it, it says mantle, you see the picture, I click on it, and it says, there's a little note that says, this restaurant, you cannot make reservations for this restaurant. It's not like that.
I'll have to look into that. It might be because it's a private one, maybe. I'm not sure. Yes.
Because everybody can go into Open Table and make a reservation. So they do that so that someone from outside feels you cannot reservation, that's why they want you to go through MTL, through the mantle, to go into open tier. Because they know that way you are trying to achieve it.
And once it's in there, I can go to my app and I can adjust it from there, but I can't initially on there, so that's what makes sense.
Like I say, because I've always done it directly to the inside, when I saw it, and then to that.
Yeah. But if you ever make a reservation, because I make it for happy hour, I make like an every other week reservation for my years, and I have to go to the website, click the reservation tab, and then it kicks me out. So,
Weird.
anyway, but it makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always had that question.
Yeah. Well, there you go. The community has spoken.
Yeah.
So this one is not posted. I just got this slide back from our fantastic design team this morning, and like literally 5 minutes before the Summiteer Live, and so I put it in our slideshow. We are going to be offering a complimentary estate planning workshop. Another one of those not so fun things, but very important things. So this will be on February 25th at 11 a.m. In here. So if you're just interested in learning about estate planning, we have a partner who's going to be coming out and just kind of educating us about it. February 25th. And I'm hoping to have it posted by the end of today. They're from a law firm. Yeah, so it's a lawyer. They do a 90-minute presentation and then open it up for questions. Part of our rules of the lodge is anything that's posted through MTL cannot be a sales pitch. So it's truly informational. And then there will be available afterwards if you have questions to ask about anything. And then just a couple of updates. I'm going to be in Arizona Monday through Thursday. I'll be back on Friday. I'm going down for the lifestyle conference, which will be exciting. I've been in lifestyle for almost, well, I'm not anymore, but was for almost 3 years, but never got to go because of COVID. So excited to go back to Arizona and meet the other fantastic lifestyle people, get to ask questions, just kind of pick other people's brains, learn some new things. But everything will, I know, go fantastically while I'm gone. We have a fantastic team here. And then a couple of other just exciting things. We had our lifestyle monthly call 2 days ago. And so from my notes, I thought I'd just share some things that are going to be up and coming, because why not? It's part of the fun of coming to the Summiteer Live. So we will be having our My Trilogy Life magazine release party. So for those of you who are newer to the community, once a year they put out a magazine featuring different communities, featuring different members from different communities. Last year, this SSL Sightseers got a huge, like, 4-page spread in it, which selfishly, no big deal. Really excited about that. But so that will be sometime after February 7th. Part of why we don't put an exact date until we get closer is because we need to make sure we get the magazines, because they ship and there's always, you never know. It's a whole bunch of boxes and sometimes things get stalled. So watch for that in the beginning of February. And I know that the Costellos and Sue Hawkins are featured in this magazine. So we have some member stories, which will be exciting for us. We also have February, we have National Pizza Day coming up, which I'm working on a kind of a creative play off of that. National Margarita Day will be here. Of course, Chocolate Week, Groundhog Day, which is one of my favorites. Those little groundhogs sit on the windowsill in the office all year, and then the team gets to hide them, and then the members get to find them and get prizes. It sounds silly, but it's a fun tradition, and we like silly around here sometimes. So that will be exciting, so watch for that. And then going into March, we are excited to bring back the Motion Month bingo card. So again, for those who are newer to the community, the national programming thing for March is Motion Month. So get out, move, really focus on our wellness and our health. And so they do these green bingo cards with different challenges. And then we have stampers that we can mark them off for you. And then you can submit your bingo card when you get a bingo or a blackout. And then there's prize drawings at the end of the month. So that will be coming back. The last 2 years have had a different spin on it because of COVID. But this year we're going back to our roots with our original kind of Motion Month cards. So that will be fun and exciting. The bracket challenge is also coming back for the women's and men's college basketball tournament in March. We will be celebrating International Women's Day and then, of course, St. Patrick's Day. So those are our sneak peeks that are coming. Yeah, it is a lot. And I'm going to be asking the fellow lifestyle brains, hi Bill, some ideas that they have for some of those things, and then hopefully bringing back some wonderful ideas about programming for us. So that'll be good. Any questions? So many questions. Neil, go ahead.
You mentioned something about Sue Hawkins.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to be in what now? I didn't get that.
Sue is going to be featured in the My Trilogy Life magazine. Mm-hmm. And I think it's about the backpacking trip that Todd took members to, where they went to Mount Rainier. I believe that's what it is, but I could be wrong. No, it's not. Sandy Piece, hot off the presses. It is not the backpacking trip. I think she wrote about it. We'll see. It's going to be a fun surprise because I don't get to see the magazine until they send it. So we'll see.
I'm sorry, it's coming out on Sunday.
No, so they are getting shipped to us next week. They'll be up here at the counter, but we don't put them out until we have our release party. So it's a complimentary event that we do. We do it in Two Tides. We'll have some snacks and drinks available, but that's where we debut the magazine. But that event will get posted once I know we have the magazines here. So yes, yeah.
Two questions, and then I make an announcement about the research.
Sure.
Okay, first question is, will we be restarting the movie nights?
So movie night, speaking of Sue is advocating to restart the movie night member-led club, which totally, yeah, let's do it. So she and I are working on finding a day that works. As we know, Hawk's Nest is a very popular room, so it probably won't be a weekly opportunity, but we will be bringing back the movie nights once we kind of find time and dates that work for the club. But that's a member-led club. So now that we have a member who's stepping up to do it, bringing it back.
Second question.
Yes, so for the Share Your Passions month, I am looking at the last Saturday of February to do our member-led club expo. I have not posted it yet because there's a couple of moving variables with other member events going on. But once I have that date solidified, I'll be reaching out to all of the club leaders to see who would like to participate and then get it posted so that people can come learn about the different member-led clubs. I assumed you would be. Any other question? Oh yeah, and Ron had a Trilogy Serves announcement.
I have an announcement about the Trilogy Serves. We set the date for this year's big spring fundraiser. It'll be Saturday, May 20th in the afternoon, just like last year. We will have both a silent auction and a live auction. And we're going to have some other surprises that you won't know until you show up. But what we're looking for are items to auction. And so this year we're really focusing on experiences and gift baskets, unique gift baskets. And so experiences could be somebody said, I would love somebody to drive me to Leavenworth, to show me around Leavenworth for a weekend. That would be something we could auction off. Maybe you have a backyard or house that you spend a lot of money decorating. You want to have a dinner party there. Do that. All sorts of things. In terms of gift baskets, we have quite a few offers of wine. We'd love to have something unique. Maybe there's some service providers you go to, get some gift cards and go with that person and have a spa day or tour this. So we're looking for something unique. If they're somewhere in the range of 100 to 150 of value, those would be the most popular things. So please be creative. You'll get the email blast this week asking for ideas. So be as creative as possible.
So for those folks at home, the Trilogy Serves auction is coming up in May, and they are looking for experiences to be donated as well as gift baskets. So if that's of interest to you, Ron Rail is leading the charge for the Trilogy Serves auction this year. Thank you. Any other questions? Yes, Sandy. Yes. Yep. So Boone Electric was out here. And then Robert said on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, they're supposed to be installing, now that we have the appropriate horsepower for the pump, that process is getting installed on Tuesday. So then hopefully we'll have movement by the weekend. Les.
Announcement from the theater club. Tomorrow we're going to the theater. Dinner afterwards. We're on MTL for that whole thing if you're interested. Next Saturday we're going to the Temptations show in Seattle. MTL has that one. Sunday, following day, we're going to Old Boy Tango at TLT, which is Tacoma Little Theater, and that's going to be a play. Sounds really interesting. It's kind of a new play, so you never know what you get, but we'll see. And then on Thursday, no, on February 2nd, we're going to Issaquah Village Theater.
Saturday, February 4th.
Thank you. We're in Sensibility, which is a fresh take on Jane Austen's classic, done as a musical.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so for those folks at home, Les was talking about Theater Lovers Club. They have, I think you quoted 4 upcoming outings. All of that information and links to purchase tickets are on MTL. So if those interest you, my personal one that I wish I could go to, which I'm hoping they come back, is the Temptations one. Because I saw Jersey Boys with the Frankie Valli one in Vegas a couple years ago, and that was phenomenal.
That's a touring, professional touring company from Broadway.
Mm-hmm.
And Paramount Theater downtown is just basically a hall for hire.
Mm-hmm.
They don't produce anything themselves, so if it comes back around, it's going to be there's a market here for that type of show. So it's a limited run on the tickets are not inexpensive, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
But there's going to be 14 of us.
Awesome.
Wow.
Are you guys, because we're going to that too, but not with you guys. Are you doing dinner or something afterwards?
Could be. We're still in the planning phase since that's a week away, and we always get last minute reservations for people, so we're checking. This is a weird one, and I'll explain to you why it's weird. This whole Temptation show got started by myself and Marsha and 2 other couples that were friendly. We decided that the 6 of us were just going to get tickets for this. So we went into the city and bought the tickets directly to Boston, so we choose our seats. And not having Ticketmaster's gigantic fee to do so. And it just kind of spun from that. We put it onto the calendar, and so many people said, yeah, I want to see that show. So we made that possible. The reason that it's running a little different is that the 6 of us are celebrating a special birthday for one of the couple. And it's a place that his folks used to take him to dinner on the Union, and he wanted to recreate that experience. So we're going there for dinner, the 6 of us. We got delighted to make good reservations for the rest of the evening.
No worries.
Excellent. Yes.
I was hiring, for, I don't know how much they go replacement.
The lifestyle coordinator.
Yeah.
We just went through our second round of second interviews this week. So the way the process works is I do an interview on site here, and then our national lifestyle director, Sarah Rainey, does a second interview. So she and I are going to be touching base next week when I'm in Arizona. We'll kind of see what her thoughts were. And I'm very passionate about the lifestyle, and I am adamant that it's a very unique position, just like everything else in this building. Everything is unique. And so I don't want a Band-Aid. Really looking for the right person to come aboard. It's a unique personality to be in lifestyle. You take a lot of feedback, a lot of time, and I'm very cognizant of that. But also creativity and being outgoing and wanting to be the person welcoming everyone to the party, and then also knowing when it's time to put our head down and get MTL updated. And so it's kind of it's not necessarily like an admin job, and it's not just like party job. It's a, yeah, you gotta use both sides of the brain. Which, speaking of which, so as I'm still helping, I made binders for each thing that I'm doing. So this is my lifestyle and activities binder, AKA right side of the brain. And then I have my private events, AKA the right side of my brain. And then I have my general manager, AKA left side of the brain. So yeah, just a little play on that for you. But yeah, so hopeful we'll be getting someone in soon, but really wanting to make sure it's the right fit for both parties. Yes. Most of them are virtual. That's why we have the one-day university programming. It's always something we're open to. I have reached out to the Tacoma Pierce College Community College to see if we could partner with them to bring somebody in to do lectures, but it's not something that I found a solid connection on yet. But it's not necessarily something that, yes, we do it, or no, we don't. We just haven't really found that avenue of connection for it yet. So right now, the main kind of academic things that we have is the one-day university program. It's all about people coming here. And so for them, they are a little bit further, even though it's Tacoma. That's longer than people think it is to get here. But we're always open to exploring things. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I know that a lot of adjuncts would be interested, but they would need to be compensated.
Mm-hmm.
And does Trilogy do that?
Yep. So we pay our vendors. A lot of times that means that tickets are, there's a cost for attendance as part of that. And so it's kind of that two-way street, but we always are open to payment for sure.
Maybe reliable active learners. That might be it.
Yeah, so Active Learners was a member-led club that we had here, and that member has since moved. So it's not an active club right now, but that was a fantastic one where he brought in people from all walks of life to come in, and they met in Hawks Nest. And, they talked, my dad did one time about solar energy. So if that's something you'd be interested in, I'd love to talk more. And yeah, so the member-led clubs, it's up to the members too. Les knows lots of people in this room lead the club, so it's up to the members to keep those going. So I'm always looking, if anyone is interested in leading up the Active Learners again, my door is open for that. Yes.
What's really cool about Active Learners, I'm quite active.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really want to coordinate mine, because that's really how these going on. But if somebody would do that, what it gives us an opportunity. We have a lot of people in this neighborhood that were really interested in that.
Yeah.
We have people that have been judges in court,
Mm-hmm.
police officers,
Morticians.
some of them military, some of them, high executives and various, lawyers. All of them have stories to tell. We can get to know each other and learn all. It's really that's the whole idea. It's a lot of fun. It can be people from out of town that come in and talk. For example, we had the chief of police come in and talk about law enforcement in our neighborhood, how to prevent crime. We had the fire department chief come in, how to prevent fire. All kinds of things like that. But most of it is people internally that most of us love to talk about ourselves. Yeah. And so I would love to see it start up again. I'd be happy to help somebody who wants to do all the leading and coordinating. Roger was terrific.
Roger was fantastic. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, so Active Learners, like I said, anyone who's interested in kind of taking that and running with it, Dave's happy to help. But we just need somebody to take it over. And it doesn't have to be a weekly thing. It could be a monthly thing. It doesn't always have to be weekly. So any other thoughts or questions? Yes.
Did you ever consider having a bingo night?
Bingo is a tricky one because of the Washington State Gambling Commission. So for bingo, we cannot charge for bingo because then it's considered gambling. So finding bingo, I've looked into like getting my own sets that I would just do myself. So it's something I'm exploring. But it's a unique one because anytime you say bingo in a public website, perks up people's ears. So we just have to be creative. For those of you who came to our murder mystery event last year, they are actually doing a interactive professional actors / audience participation spin on bingo. And so I'm working with them to see if we can possibly change up the name so that I don't get in trouble. Because it's not true bingo, but that's what the stage performance is called. And so I'm working with them and hopefully going to do that in March or April. And if we don't go that route, we will be doing another murder mystery event in March or April, probably April. But yes.
We're doing members, so we have all these questions. So I'm also interested in elementary level.
Mhm.
So a couple languages that my husband's interested
Mhm.
in. I don't think any of those have those existed in the past.
We used to have one called Music Jam, I think is what it was called. But that one got so big that they ended up going and meeting in someone's garage rather than here on site. So that's another opportunity if somebody wants to do something here again. We haven't, as far as I know, we haven't had any language member-led clubs. I am working with somebody to start offering Spanish lessons for our members. That relationship isn't quite solidified yet. I'm very protective, not the right word, but I need to make sure I vet someone before I bring them in to work with our community. And so working through that. Mm-hmm. That sounds like a great member-led club if you want to start it, but it doesn't exist right now. Mm-hmm. Who was it? Do you remember? Yeah, I remember. Oh, yeah, the other hazes. So if that's the case, it may be that it's not meeting anymore. I'm not sure. Yeah, it sure did.
Anyways, I was just again, she said somebody has to keep it easy, I'll work with all of them to make it happen. So she makes it easy, but somebody has to be in charge of it.
Yes. Good. Sorry, that's we're doing our massages with Jenny today, and I've never actually met Jenny. And so then I saw somebody out of the corner of my eye that I did not recognize. And speaking of being protective, I was like, who is this person that does not look like a community member walking through the building that I don't, but I'm assuming that's Jenny. The mama bear did. I don't know if you guys saw my eye line, but it went, who's that? That's Jenny. So I'm going to go meet Jenny because I've never been able to meet her. She's always here on days that I'm not here. Any other questions or anything? Oh, perfect. Well, thank you everyone for coming, and we'll see you next week.